G'day there, thanks for coming to my channel. Please let me just take a moment to thank the people that are responsible for this channel even existing, my patrons. These guys do more for me than I can ever put into words. Thank you all so much. Man, I cannot believe just how big this screen is getting now. It just totally blows my mind. You guys are nuts, you're insane, and I love yous all. Anyway, it's time for the video, so I hope you enjoy.
Hello everybody, welcome to Floor Cam. Yeah, that's how I try to imitate myself. That's my self-impression. Hello, yes, welcome to the floor for a very different kind of video that needs a lot of space. If you don't already know, I got this old bean right here back in April 2014. So he is basically 5 years old now, and his age is definitely beginning to show, which is why I got a new suit. He looks okay on camera, but in person you can really tell. Like, he's starting to bald. You can't really see that there either, but there's you can see the backing of the fur there. His whites aren't really white anymore, no matter how much I clean them, and he just has that old fursuit look to him. And hey, a lot of you don't really have a problem with suits that have that old look, but for my personal standards for the fursuits that I wear for my own choices, this is a bit too old for me to wear comfortably. I mean, I say that owning a suit that is secondhand and 8 years old, but I digress. When a head starts to get this old, there's really not too much you can really do other than just get a complete refurb or a new suit. And some heads are machine washable, but I definitely would not put this guy in the washing machine. So then the other option that is out there is one of these. If you don't already know what this is a Blistle Little Green. And these are used as an upholstery cleaner. You get the little nozzle, you get your couch, and you clean it. Or your car seats, or your carpet, or just anything else that you can't really like pick up and put in a sink or a washing machine to wash. So we have my detergent solution in this half, and this is the half where all the gunk comes out. So it vacuums up through this bit. So that's definitely a vacuum. So this clear bit here is the vacuum. It all comes up through in there and gets sucked into the component. But then you've also got this little black bit here, which shoots out whatever you've got in your solution compartment. Normally you would use some kind of commercial upholstery cleaner, but it hasn't really been confirmed whether or not that's going to be fursuit safe, so what I've put in is my normal laundry detergent that I would use to clean the bodysuit and the other parts. Now, there's not very much in there at all. I put in about as much as I would use if I was washing just one shirt in the washing machine and I really cared about that shirt. The other advantage with using these things, because there are other versions and brands and more expensive versions, but this one is one of the cheapest because it has no heating elements in it, which is what you want for fursuits. Because if you don't already know, fursuit fur is made out of a sort of synthetic plastic. It's fake synthetic plastic fur. And what happens to plastic when it gets hot? It melts and it starts getting all matted and gross. So like, if you see, I don't know how well you can really see the bit of my paw there. See it's how like all scrunchy up together? That's really only all matted because that's the middle of my hand, because that's gonna get a lot of friction on it as I use it to suit with. But if you use too much heat on a fursuit, that's pretty much what the rest of the fur is going to look like. You really don't want that all over your suit. If you heat damage your fur, there is no coming back. It is ruined. You can make it maybe look a little bit nicer with just a bit of like a hairdryer and a brush, but it'll never truly be that nice fur look it used to be, so be careful. Now, to demonstrate the little green, I have first brought a pillow. We'll do this first before we do the fursuit. On this pillow is a little stain right there. I don't know how well you can see it, but we're gonna try and get that out with this. All right, let's go. I will replace the vacuum noise with some lovely Monstercat music for you. Alright, that actually worked a lot better than I was expecting it to. The stain is pretty much completely gone, and that's really only because I worked on it for about a minute. Like, I didn't spend too much time on that at all. I reckon it could be even more fresh if I spent some more time. I've noticed that area that I've focused on also looks a lot more wider than the rest of the pillow, which is really good, because one thing I was really hoping that this would help with my fursuit head is it would help, oop, water came out of that, that it would help brighten up those whites. So that's good news, test successful, wow. But that also shows you how it works. So it doesn't always squirt out water, you've got this little button here, so it'll squirt out water whenever you press that. When I say water, I mean your like cleaning department. It's a liquid, it's water. It's not actually water, but you know what I mean. As one more test, I'm going to use it on just one of my hand paws. That way we've got a before and after to really compare it to. This will be my first time using it on anything Fursuit, so I am a little nervous, but it should be okay. Alright, here's some more music for ya. I didn't expect that one to really be too dirty because, you know, hand paws you can throw in the washing machine, so these ones were going to be pretty okay, but I really just wanted to see how it would compare. So I'll leave that to dry, and then I'll see you in the future. Alright, so it's been 24 hours, the paw is dry, and there's no difference. Which honestly I was expecting because paws you can put in the washing machine, so that's pretty much just the cleanest that they're going to be. But I wanted to see, just in case something happened. It didn't. I can't even remember which one was which, so... Oh, there you go, worth a shot. But if you have a look at our little tank here, look at how gross that water is. I don't know how much of that was my hand paws and how much of that was the pillows, but either way, that's nasty, that's gross. I'm gonna go pour that out so we can see everything that comes out of the Fursuit head. Alright, there we go, nice and empty. Alright, so, the big one. I used these videos here to help me learn what to do about this, so please go check them out, and thank you guys so much for making those videos. So again, I'm really hoping that we can get those whites a little bit whiter, that fur looking a little bit softer, especially on the neck and everything there. And I really want to clean his tongue. His tongue is not quite as pink as it used to be, and it's very matted and ugh. On the ears. The ears have been one of the hardest things to clean on this suit because it's what everybody grabs. Everyone wants to grab the ears, so they get very dirty very quickly. And in the wrong kind of lighting, they look horrendous. I don't want that to happen again. The first thing you want to do is protect the eyes with some paper towels. Even if your eyes are sealed or you know they're waterproof, I would still do this just in case because you don't really know how this detergent is going to react on them. Oh my god, that looks terrifying. Even though this does suck the water up, your head is still going to be left pretty damp afterwards. The kind of technique you want to use is pretty much the same as you would use for a couch. So you squirt some water on, give it a few bits of vacuum and vacuum it all up. And then if it's still looking kind of meh, just do it again as much as needed. But you always want to suck up as much water out of it as possible. Oh, okay, I'm still scared. My baby, please be okay. I think I might start on those ears. Those are probably the safest place to begin. All right, here we go. Time for more music. I actually ran out of detergent, so I'm not finished, but look, it's gone. Alright, we're back. So for this next bit, I didn't put any more detergent in, that's all just straight water because I noticed he's getting a little bit sudsy, like just a little bit soupy, so hopefully we'll be able to rinse out the rest of them with just this. Music time! Should just about do us. So hopefully the eyes are okay. Yep, all good there. all good there. Nice. Pop him on his little head dryer there, give him a bit of a brush. And I'm gonna leave his eyebrows off to dry as well. Now, let's just put it to the side for a sec, so you guys can see this. Look at all that. That is gross. That was all in my fursuit head. And like, I'm pretty crazy about keeping him clean. Like, anytime there's a stain, I'll spot clean it. I disinfect him after everywhere. But he's not a fully machine washable head, so I've never really been able to give the foam and everything inside him a deep clean for the entire 5 years that I've owned him. So there you go. 5 years of gross was all in that head. Ugh. So far the colors don't seem to be too different, but even though there isn't really any obvious change on the outside, there has definitely been a change on the inside. Let's wait for him to dry and then we'll see how he went. Alright, it's been 24 hours and here he is. All nice and dry. And I gotta say, the fur is definitely a lot more plush and doesn't quite feel as gross now. Because before, like, while he wasn't dirty, the fur almost had like a almost oily kind of texture to it, and no matter what I did, I couldn't get that out, so I just thought that's just how fur sort of goes. But this machine has managed to get it out. So that's one wish done, we got the fur to look fluffier. The next point is the tongue. I don't know how well you can tell on camera, but that tongue is so much more pinker now. It actually really got that dirt out really well. Because you can sort of see this sort of rim of dirt around the tongue where I couldn't quite get to, so it did make a clear difference. Very happy about that. As for the whites, they didn't really change too much. Like, the ears are still a little bit dirty, so I reckon I'm gonna have to bleach those if I want to try and get that nice and white again. But they're still definitely fluffier and feeling nicer. I still can't believe that all of this was in that. I feel good just knowing all that is no longer in there. 5 years of build-up. So let's finalize with the pros and cons. So the pros are, it's a good way to clean a head if your head isn't machine washable. If you suit a lot with a non-machine washable head, you definitely should get one of these. Another pro is it's relatively easy to use. You just put your soap and water on one side, comes out of that side, like, easy done. And this is also like a full-on upholstery cleaner, so you can also clean your carpets and everything while you're there. As for cons, well, it's noisy for one, very, very noisy. If your suit has any airbrushing, this will most likely take it right off, so you cannot use this on airbrushed heads. Or if your suit has electronics, you probably don't want to use this either because you don't want to fry them. This version is also corded. It is a nice long cord, to be fair, but if this is something you want to be taking around to lots of places, you might want to look for the cordless version. And the price. These things can be found new from anywhere from 150 to 250 bucks Australian. I was lucky enough to find this one secondhand for 50 bucks, so do look for secondhand if you can. But it's definitely not the cheapest little accessory in the world. But I don't think you can really put a price on the longevity of your fursuit heads. Like, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I don't think it's quite enough for me to bring him fully out of retirement, because I still need to get those ears clean, and the bodysuit is also starting to fall to pieces a little bit. But you will definitely still see him around. Like, he's definitely more active on my Instagram and Twitter at the moment, so if you want to see more of the old boy, go follow me on there. And of course, before using this, always be sure to test it on something first. Ideally, you want to test it on a part of a fursuit before you actually get going on the fursuit head. When it comes to the soap, less is more, so definitely don't put in too much soap either, otherwise your fursuit will be left really oily because you weren't able to get all the suds out. I wasn't really able to use it on his neck too much because I didn't really have a solid surface to really use it on, but that's okay. For next, you can just use the old dunk in the sink trick. If you have a resin head instead of a foam head, you could also use this if you like, but again, don't use it if you have airbrushing. Alright, I think that's about everything I need to cover for this video. Hope you enjoyed. If you give this a go yourself, or you have before, let me know in the comments on how it went for you. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!